Greetings, everyone. I want to talk today about the upcoming full moon on February 5th. This will be a micro full moon, meaning that the moon is at its farthest from the Earth in its orbit. At the time of the new moon on January 21st, we had a supermoon. So the moon appears larger and brighter in the sky because the moon is at its closest to the Earth. I think it's interesting that this full moon will be when the moon is at its furthest from the Earth. And so the moon will appear less bright and somewhat smaller than it did at the time of the new moon. And I think that's significant in terms of the meaning of this full moon. So hold that awareness as we move into looking at the chart. And let me pull that up. So as we look at the chart of the full moon, you can see that the sun is at 16 degrees of Aquarius, the moon at 16 degrees of Leo. And this full moon with the moon in Leo is really calling us to let our light shine, Leo, to live from the heart. And it's interesting that the Sabian symbol for this degree of the zodiac is about promoting spiritual community, being in a strong experience of interconnectedness with each other. We talked at the time of the new moon about the powerful energies of transformation that we were being guided into, about daring to be different, being true and in our authentic selves, but also finding a way to be in right relationship with each other. As we've worked those energies of the new moon, this full moon is helping us to know how to live more fully from the heart with courage, Leo, and how to be in community together, Aquarius. We are moving into these paradigms of the Aquarian age that are about collaboration and co-creating new ways of being in community together. And that will be supported by Saturn in Aquarius in a wide conjunction to the sun opposite the moon. Remember that Saturn, when we work with its energy consciously, is guiding us how to bring things into form, but to hold that form lightly. Saturn in Aquarius is supporting us in beginning to shape the new communities, the new forms of the Aquarian age, and not to get mired in them or attached to them, but to be in that fluid process of co-creating together the new forms and the new paradigms of this extraordinary new age. It's also very significant at the time of this full moon that the sun and moon are squaring Uranus and the lunar nodes. Now, if you remember, the new moon was also squaring the lunar nodes. So that's an indication that this is a really significant moment karmically. It's a choice point. We're being called to step into this accelerated time of change and transformation that we're all feeling. And with that square now with the sun and moon in a tight square with Uranus, we're really being supported to get the clarity, Uranus, to stand in our truth, Uranus, to be in right relationship with the earth, Taurus, and to be moving forward in these new directions with the North Node. So I do believe that this full moon is going to be supporting us in getting more of a vision, more of a sense of the shape and form of these new paradigms that we're moving into, that we're co-creating as a community together. It's also significant that Chiron will be an aspect to the sun and moon, continuing to support us in healing our sense of self and healing. I truly believe that Chiron in Aries is supporting us in healing those out of balance paradigms from the age of Aries that are about the power over structures, that paradigm of domination, of violence, of exploitation. All of those are shadow sides of the age of Aries that we need to release and allow ourselves to heal from, to be able to move into these new paradigms together. And remember that Pluto is continuing to be in the final degrees of Capricorn, continuing to activate the destruction, the taking down of those out of balanced forms and structures in our world that are unjust, that are creating violence, destruction, exploitation of the earth, and abuse and separation in relationship with each other. Many people are feeling that turbulence in the collective, and some of the more extreme forms of violence, war, abuse, domination, greed, efforts to assert a kind of authoritarian global control that are also happening on the planet. But remember, I truly believe that that is a backlash to this accelerated transformation that we're in, that it is the effort to cling to the old out of balanced paradigms and the power over patriarchal structures that are being taken down by Pluto. So we're seeing the intensification of that as we're actually being guided into this new age and these new forms. The gift of astrology is it's showing us what is the trajectory that we are on, what is the larger path of growth and evolution that the universe is supporting us in. And I truly believe that in the midst of the turbulence of these times, the energies of the cosmos, the energies of our earth, the energies of those of us who are awakening are calling us in to a profound time of healing and transformation and moving into a new world that is characterized by a sense of compassion, collaboration, living from the heart, co-creating a new world that is about being in harmony with each other and with the earth. I also strongly believe that the paradigms of the Aquarian age are guiding us into rebalancing the energies of the sacred feminine with the sacred masculine, and rebalancing right brain ways of being with left brain ways of being. And again, to reintegrate those right brain ways of being is about increasing in our intuition, our empathy, our capacity to attune to how we are in relationship with each other, how we are interconnected with all that is. So this is a very powerful full moon, and it's also significant that the sun and moon are in aspect to Mars. So we're being guided to move into this new sense of community together, to be more fully envisioning and feeling and bringing into form the energies of the Aquarian age, and then knowing how to act from that place, and Mars in Gemini, to speak that truth, to be standing in our ways of being and our communication with others about these new forms. But now let me show you where the moon will be in the sky at the time of this full moon. So as I've said in previous videos, I think it's extraordinary to look at the energies of the chart and the signs that the sun and moon are in these critical lunar phases, but also to look at visual astrology. Where in the sky is the moon at the time of this full moon on February 5th? And it's beautiful that the full moon will be here between the stars of Cancer and moving towards the stars of Leo, the lion. And I think it's exquisite that one day later, while still very much in the full moon, that moon will be just above the royal star Regulus, which is the heart of Leo the Lion. And the meaning of that royal star, it gives us the strength, the courage to live from the heart, to be in integrity, to be in our authenticity, to let our light shine in the world, and to come from the heart. So as you experience the full moon, take time to honor that energy of the full moon, that energy of Regulus, the royal star, supporting us all and coming back to the heart. This is a beautiful full moon, and in that it's a micro full moon, I almost have the sense that the moon is supporting us in realizing we need to let go of our individual ego, our need to shine in the world in a way that is about our separation from each other. We're in a time where we're still in those paradigms of competition, of separation from each other, of feeling like we need to shine in our own individual way, coming from that place of ego. And I think this micro full moon is saying, step back, remember your interconnectedness with each other, with all of life, with all that is. Let your light shine from the heart and move into these new forms of the Aquarian age, not from a place of ego, but from a place of compassion and collaboration and co-creation with each other and with all of the beings on the planet and with all of the energies of the cosmos. This is an extraordinary time, and it is an extraordinary time of transition and transformation. To me, the gift of knowing these energies in the sky is understanding the energies that are mirrored on the earth, that we are moving into a profound new paradigm on the planet. And even though there's a lot of turbulence, there's a lot of chaos, it is about the energies of death, rebirth. The old forms are disintegrating, and we are birthing new forms, new understandings of ourselves, and new ways of being in relationship with each other, new forms of community, new ways of being in harmony with all that is. So in the intensity of this time, feel the energy of this full moon. Allow yourself to take in that light of the moon right by the star Regulus to guide you in feeling that way of coming from your heart with courage, knowing that we're not alone. We are supported by each other. We are supported by the energies of the cosmos. I'm deeply grateful to this community and for the ways in which we are co-creating this new world together and supporting each other through this intense time of transition into this new birth. So blessings to all of you. Blessed be.